Hey, what's happening, my fearless networking friend? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode in this series that we've been doing on the subject of prospecting mastery. We're kind of nearing the end of this series that's been going on for probably the past 3 months. If this is your first episode, if you're on my page at toddfalcone.com, you can scroll all the way back several months. Anything that you see that says prospecting mastery in the front of it, I've gone through an extensive training series specifically on prospecting and recruiting and network marketing. And as we bring this thing closer to a close, today I'm going to talk to you about the subject of closing. How do you become a more effective closer in this space? So, the term closing is a term that we use in network marketing, and it's used in traditional sales as well. And I would say it's very different what we do here in terms of closing, if you will, versus a traditional sales model. But I do think the term applies, and it's important that you embrace your abilities in becoming a better closer. It's not like we're twisting anybody's arms or coercing or trying to make somebody do something, but we do want to take somebody from the beginning stages of sharing them what we're doing, piquing their interest, getting them in front of a presentation, addressing their questions, their concerns, getting them everything that they need to make an informed decision, and then lead them into helping them make the right decision for themselves. So anytime I talk about the subject of closing, I think it's really important that you understand that the close really starts from the beginning. So, for example, when you're prospecting someone, and we talked about this many, many weeks ago in this series, the intentionality of your invite, the energy of your invite versus a lackadaisical, I don't really care, gosh, if you might take a look at it sometime this year, that would be great. That doesn't work. So what we want to do is you got to understand that you closing business begins from the moment you open up your mouth or engage somebody in conversation, so they get a chance to feel how serious you are, how committed you are, how professional you are. And people tend to do business with individuals, obviously, that they like and trust, and that they feel are committed to whatever it is that they're asking that individual to get involved in. Nobody wants to work with a flaky person. So you got to be thinking about from the very beginning, you're really closing from the moment you open up your mouth and start engaging somebody in conversation about whatever it is that you're doing. And that goes all the way through the process from inviting someone, getting them in front of the information, timely follow-up. If you say you're going to be there for a follow-up call and you book a specific time, you show up on time, you're prepared, you're professional, you're ready, and it just demonstrates to the prospect that you're serious, that you're professional, that you're ready to do business, and this is not a hobby, this is not a game for you, this is serious business, and people want to do business with individuals and follow individuals that are committed. So as far as like the actual closing process, your prospect internally knows that there's like a beginning and an end. You invited them, or you had a conversation with them, you got them in front of some information, they looked at it, you got back to them, you found out how they felt about what they looked at, they liked it, they had some questions or concerns or objections, you addressed those, perhaps you use some kind of third-party validation, a three-way call, a Zoom meeting with a leader, a three-way chat on Facebook or whatever you're doing, and now you're beginning to essentially run out of questions. And it's very important for you to pay attention to the things that these individuals are saying. So for example, they looked at the video, they were there on the follow-up, they had questions and concerns, they got those addressed, they're now they may even be asking questions like, well, how do we do this business? What would I be doing if I were to do it? How much does it cost to get up and running in this business? How many hours do I need to commit? These are what I would consider buying signs. These are people that are basically asking, okay, I'm pretty much ready to do this, but how do we do it, and what would I be doing? How do we go about building this thing? So very important for you to pay attention to that. Ultimately, I don't really have, if we were talking about traditional sales, I could give you, all these different closing tactics or closing questions, the puppy dog close, the either or close, the whatever close. Here, I keep it pretty simple. I kind of get to the end and you're kind of feeling that the person's interested, but they're, they don't really have very many more questions, I'll just say to the prospect, hey, John, would it be cool with you if I showed you the different options that are available in getting started with our company? And as many hundreds or thousands of times that I've asked that question, never once have I had somebody say, no, Todd, that wouldn't be cool. Now, what it requires you to do is it requires you to be familiar with the different options or the different packages that are available in getting started with your company. You've got, your 49 or free distributor kit. You've got the, basic business builder package. You've got the entrepreneur kit, or whatever they're called in your company at different levels. And the most important thing here, yes, you need to know what's in them, but what you really need to know is what it will do for them, what it will do for the prospect. In other words, what are the benefits? Like, the features are the things that are in the package. You get 18 of this sample, 22 of these, you get these extra whatevers you're getting in there. Those are the things that are in that package, but you want to communicate from the standpoint of benefits to the end user, like what it's going to do for them. Hey, look, when you start with the entrepreneur pack, what you're going to receive are 50 of these product samples, which are going to enable you to go out into the marketplace and share this product with people. They're going to be able to experience it, to taste it, to feel the difference in, them taking that product, or see the difference depending on what we're talking about. And I mean, there's services as well, but you're communicating why and what it will do for them. And so it's important that A, you know what those packages are, B, that you can articulate and communicate what those different options are. And then, for me personally, like, there's A, B, and C, small, medium, and large. Typically the larger package is designed for serious business builders. Like, if any network marketing company I've ever done, I've always done really the biggest package that was available, because I knew that was going to provide me the greatest benefit. And yeah, you might, as a distributor, make a little bit more money because they come in at a bigger package, but it's not about lining your pockets with money. It's more, you're arming your new rep with all of the things that they need to be successful. It's also a lot easier to not only enroll people, but enroll people at, like, the more ideal package, if you will, if you've done so yourself, because then you can communicate from experience. Look, hey, John, when I got started in this company, I wanted to be very successful. I wanted to have everything that I needed to succeed. So there was the basic option, and then there was the entrepreneur package. I decided to start with the entrepreneur package because I felt it was going to give me all the things that I needed to win in this business, and I didn't want to be empty-handed, if you will. So that's an advantage for you as well. Maybe you started out at the basic little kit or whatever, and then most companies will allow you to upgrade. I would, if you haven't done that, I would do that, because then it gives you the opportunity to speak from experience. And then when it comes to the actual enrollment process, I roll through the different packages, and it's still going to be their choice. I'll say, John, I started at this entrepreneur package, and most successful people start at this level, but how do you see yourself getting started? And I'll wait for their response. And when they give me their response, I'm like, great, well, let's go ahead and get you started. Do you want Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex? What credit card do you want to put it on? And then I personally, in most cases, will be on the website and entering their information. Rather than sending that person to the website to go do it themselves, I prefer to actually be the person entering John Smith, address, city, state, zip, all this stuff. That way I just know it gets done. Even though the person could go to the website, it tends to be much smoother if you're the person taking down the information, entering in the website. I enter all the information at the tail end of it. Boom, I press the button, submit. It spits out an ID number. John, your ID number is 12345. Welcome to the team. Let's get you going. Let's get you plugged into our Fast Start training, and let's create some success for you. So the key things that I want you to just remember from this episode is, number one, again, just remember that you're closing from the beginning, the first time that you open your mouth. So how you operate, how you function, are they perceiving you as committed, serious, this professional individual that is dialed into what you're doing? Or is it, I'm kind of halfway in and halfway out, I'm kind of lackadaisical about what I do? That's not going to serve you well. And then obviously getting their questions answered through the process. And then it's really up to you at some point. And I think it's a matter of feel, but you start running out of questions. And then ultimately they're going to say, hey, they kind of have, you kind of have, it's like you run out of, there's no more questions. So that's when you're going to, either right before you're running out of questions, or as they're running out of questions, and suggesting, say, John, would it be okay with you if I, shared the different options that were available in getting started with our company? And that's a very easy question to ask. It's a very low-key question to ask. And then you just kind of lay out the different options, what's in it, but most importantly, what it's going to do for them. And then I just say, look, how do you see yourself getting started, John? And it's like there's no pressure in this. It's just leading them through, sharing them the different options, letting them make the right decision for themselves. Even though I emphasize that, hey, this package for a serious business builder, this is what most serious business builders do. And I tend to get people that end up purchasing that particular package because they're realizing, well, I really want to be armed and ready for business. So just a couple thoughts on closing to help you feel more comfortable with it. Again, this is a journey that you're all on, feeling more comfortable, engaging people with conversation, asking them for their commitment, which is not hard to do. And especially the way I teach it with just suggesting, hey, here's the different options. Here's what they are. How do you see yourself getting started? So if you're on my podcast, I appreciate all you audio folks. If you're hearing a bubbling brook behind me, it's because there is. I'm actually outdoors right now. If you're on my YouTube channel, I appreciate you guys. And if you're on my page at toddfalcone.com, if you want to get the rest of the details of this episode and all the other episodes, come to toddfalcone.com/episode 191. That's this particular episode, TODDFALCONE.com/episode 191, and we'll see you next time.